So Amrit, I've come to the end of my, I've been a successful franchisee. I've come to the end of my time. I've enjoyed it. What are my options for selling the business on?
Well, I did that, and actually, it was the biggest kind of one of the biggest business events that I had ever had. It was a very lucrative resale for me, and I probably ran the business for about just under 5 years, 4.5 5 years, and I sold it at a kind of 2.5x multiple, or two to 2.5x multiple, and then there was some really interesting other ways I was able to gain value from that deal. Now, on average, in these businesses, you'll get anywhere from 1 to 4 times multiple of your profit level. And that is also why it's so important when we're talking about when we start with a franchisee and we're talking exits, we're saying keep your numbers looking really clean. Because what somebody wants to look at is they want to look at some history. They want to look at 3 years of a business being run really well, the profitability going up, and we're going to then take an average of that and say, well, okay, I'm going to pay you X times multiple. And then you want to look at something that is self-sustainable. So you've got the right infrastructure in, and so that the owner, director, is not the be all and end all of that business. Because when that is the case, the multiple resale is lower within that business. And so we're constantly working with franchisees around that and saying, well, okay, so if you're marketing, do we have a system around that? If you're doing your compliance, is there a system around that? And if you're managing your team, is there a system around that? Do we have the right people there? And so we tend to say that we the sweet spot is between 2 and 3 times multiple. And if you're in that sweet spot, I think you're doing pretty well, and it's really trying to push towards that 4x multiple, which is absolutely possible and is happening within the sector. And I think if you have the right kind of business, it's possible. But I think very realistically, to stay with it between that 2 and 3x is really wonderful. And if you think some of these businesses, people are earning £250,000 plus, and 2 or 3x is a really sort of interesting event.